Hey, it's Scott MacFarlane outside the Capitol on what is very clearly a very windy Monday, and one day ahead of President Biden's State of the Union address. The president, for the third year in a row, will address Congress at a Capitol complex that is surrounded by this hulking 8-foot black metal fencing. It went up over the weekend. It'll remain up through Wednesday. Let me tell you, this fencing is everywhere. It surrounds the entirety of this U.S. Capitol complex. It's increasingly common to have this fencing here, and it is increasingly controversial. Police say it's here out of an abundance of caution because the State of the Union is deemed a national security special event. But it's also just not popular with the people who work here, who serve here, and who live near here. I spoke with the mother of 2 daughters who lives in a Capitol Hill neighborhood. And she said, not only is the fencing ugly, she says for kids, it can be traumatizing. When they ride past it on their way home or on their way to school, they ask, are we under attack again? Is something wrong here in Washington, in our city? And even for the members of Congress who this fencing is designed to protect, it's unpopular. D.C. Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton, who represents the District of Columbia, is reintroducing legislation, she tells me, to prohibit permanent fencing around the Capitol. That idea was suggested immediately after January 6th. She's proposing legislation to prohibit it from ever becoming permanent, saying it's a disruption to the people who live here, who work here, including for the congressional staff. But I'll note the irony of all this. It's not lost on me. There's an increasing number of January 6th defendants who argue that their trials should be moved away from Washington, moved away from the Capitol, arguing the D.C. jury pool might be biased because of all the disruptions, the possible trauma from, among other things, the fencing that's here and that was here after January 6th. The judges haven't bought it, haven't moved any trials, haven't agreed to change in venue motions. It's the defendants themselves allegedly part of a crime that led to the fencing in the first place.